welcome to the first ever edition of Mattitude Check with me, Jet Black Matt. This is going to be a spin-off of my other channel. I don't have much subscribers or actually many videos posted, but this is going to be, I've decided this is going to be my separate wrestling channel. Because maybe not everybody's okay with wrestling, but it's what I like, and I'd honestly just rather have a separate channel for it because I'm so into it. This is going to be a pay-per-view review for Capitol Punishment, which just happened, what is it, 23rd today? It happened the 19th. Yeah, it was a standard pay-per-view. Obviously, I'm a little upset that none of the main titles switched hands. I would have liked to see Christian hold the belt instead of Randy Orton keeping it, especially John Cena. Although I wouldn't really I wasn't really thrilled by the fact that R-Truth didn't win. It didn't really matter to me because I could care less for John Cena. Love him or hate him, he's the face of the WWE. You got to deal with him. I'm not his biggest fan. R-Truth has really come into his own. He's been in WWE as K-Quick. He was back when it was WWF, I believe. I could be wrong. He was in TNA, obviously. He held the NWA title, but it's good to see him actually, this maniacal heel, this fucking batshit crazy heel. But I'll get to that when I get to the main event. Alright, so starting off the card, obviously I'm reading this off of Wikipedia. I watched the pay-per-view. I just don't have it in front of me. I watched it maybe like 3 or 4 days ago when I got a chance, because I work 2 jobs. I don't get very much free time to do this stuff, so I watch it when I can. So the first match is Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Your standard mid-card, upper mid-card match for the United States champion. It was what it was. A few good spots here and there, not very many. We've seen these guys before. We've seen them. Obviously, the title doesn't really make much of a difference. It's a prop, seeing as how most of the titles in the WWE are props. The thing with Dolph Ziggler, I really like him. He's really good. I don't understand. Not too long ago, they cut his hair and they dyed it, and now he's obviously growing his hair back. He's paired up with Vicky Guerrero still. He's with Kofi Kingston. We see, as the match is coming towards an end, he hits Trouble in Paradise, I think. I could be wrong. But we see Vicky Guerrero get involved, and Dolph Ziggler actually wins the title, and Kofi Kingston loses. I don't really want to rate the matches. It was an alright match. I don't want to say that I'm not expecting much from them, but it's a mid-card match. Opening fight, it was alright. Next we have Alex Riley versus The Miz. Miz is, in my opinion, the best thing going right now in the WWE. Like him or hate him, he's the next guy in line, I think, after John Cena. Besides like the regular few like Randy Orton, he's paid his dues. You know, he's come up from what is it, Tough Enough or Real World back in back to New York in 2001. We got a sneak glimpse of The Miz, Mike Mizanin. Good stuff, but it's really good to see that Miz is willing to let the younger guys, especially Alex Riley, who's definitely a future superstar, future champion in the making. He's got the look, he's got the mic ability. It's good to see The Miz laid down for Alex Riley in a pretty damn good match. I hope big things for Riley, because I know The Miz, I'm hearing rumors that they're going to turn him face. I don't really know. I wouldn't mind seeing him as face, because he's awesome. He's The Miz, you know. And Alex Riley, I think he's going to go places. He's got the look, he's got the charisma. He's just got to come into his own. Obviously in the match he looked green, but awesome match. Next is Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show. I don't know how I feel about this match. I could really care less about the Big Show. I'm not a big fan of the bigger wrestlers. Big Show was good, God knows how long ago, before he came back in the WWE, back in like, I don't even know when he came back, but he's there, he's alright, he's just kind of filler for me. Alberto Del Rio, I have promise for him, but he hasn't really done much since, he won the Royal Rumble, he lost at WrestleMania to Edge's last match. Other than that, nothing really memorable. He had a small feud with Christian, which was whatever. Yeah, I mean, Del Rio got the win. I wouldn't be surprised if we see his ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez, come back, because I know he was in FCW and probably in a few of the other promotions. He was a wrestler, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come back and he starts on the card. He's not going to just be an announcer, but we'll see. Oh, God. Next, we have Zeke Jackson versus Wade Barrett. I could really care less about these two guys. To be honest, I skipped this match in the pay-per-view. I really don't care about the IC title. I don't care that Ezekiel Jackson won it. He's boring. They just kind of turned him face just to have him face, but they didn't really give him time to build. And Wade Barrett, ever since the core, he's done nothing. It's just a bunch of wasted talent. The Nexus was good. It's good to see Punk taking the Nexus, but the core just kind of seemed like a stable that they needed for the B-Rate show. So they got sent to SmackDown, and then that day they made the core, and they haven't done anything significant. Zeke Jackson turned on the core, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel eventually implode, and the whole stable is going to be disbanded. I didn't really watch the match. I don't care. I don't care about Wade Barrett. I don't care about Ezekiel Jackson. Next match. CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio. Awesome match. Definitely on the pay-per-view. It was definitely the match of the night, which isn't saying a whole lot because it's fodder. This pay-per-view is just a bunch of fodder, not the best WWE pay-per-view, especially not the best this year. I wouldn't go. WrestleMania was pretty bad, but I wouldn't say it was as bad as WrestleMania. Yeah, CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio, awesome match. Pretty much a rematch of what was it? I don't even know, SummerSlam. They had a long feud last year. CM Punk is one of my favorite guys. I know on Raw they just announced it sucks. His last day contracted at actually the next pay-per-view. What is it? Let's see. Yeah, Money in the Bank. That's taking place in his hometown. But man, this match was pretty fucking good. You know, you're always going to get a good match out of Rey Mysterio, and especially CM Punk. But the finisher was pretty awesome. It looked a little botched when he did the 619 into the go to sleep. It was a little botched, but it was still a pretty good fucking spot. Definitely match of the night, though, by my book, because I love CM Punk. Good heel. Awesome. I love him face or heel. Next match. Randy Orton versus Christian. This is a pretty good match. I'm a big fan of Randy Orton. Not as big a fan as Christian. Christian is one of my favorite guys in the company. And it sucks to see him only hold the title for TV days. He held it for 2, but he really held it... TV time, he held it for 5 days, it said, from the pay-per-view. But he really only held it 2 because they filmed SmackDown on Tuesdays. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see Christian not go over because he turned heel so he can get the title. Now to see him turn heel and still not get the title after 3 matches is really unfortunate. But obviously his foot was under the rope. Obviously this isn't the end of this. I haven't watched Raw. I don't know if there was anything on Raw about it. I didn't see Christian on Raw, I don't think. So I guess we'll see on SmackDown in a few days because it's, what is it, Tuesday? Or it's Wednesday here in New York. So I haven't seen SmackDown, so in 2 days. Great match though. Yeah, Randy Orton still looks out of it because he kind of concussed, but not a bad match. Yeah, pretty good. Next was Evan Bourne versus Jack Swagger. To be honest, I didn't watch this match. I love Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne. He's a spectacle to see, just put it that way. He's an amazing talent, and they're squandering a lot of talent in the WWE. They're squandering their talent. They don't put a lot of guys on TV. Last week when they had Raw on Long Island, they didn't have Zack Ryder on TV, and I think it scares the WWE that Zack Ryder can build up a following with social networking. And they didn't want to put him on TV. They put him on Superstars, which wasn't exactly the same because it's not televised. It's not on TV anymore. But I was really disappointed. They had a 3-hour Raw, and they couldn't put Zack Ryder on television. It kind of pissed me off. I'm not the biggest Zack Ryder proponent. I'm not his biggest fan. But it's just unfortunate that WWE had this. They had him in Long Island. He was obviously to get the biggest pop. And on Superstars, he got a significant pop. But it just sucks to see WWE wasting talent. They waste a lot of talent. You see a lot of recycled superstars on TV. You see a lot of, obviously, John Cena, a lot of Randy Orton. Obviously, the big guys. If Triple H was on TV, you'd see a lot of him. It was. I didn't watch the match. I could care less for Jack Swagger. Forgettable champion, forgettable superstar. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just not a big fan of him. Next match and the main event, air quotes, I could really care less. John Cena versus R-Truth. So I could really care less about either of these guys. Not that I hate John Cena. He's a fucking workhorse. He works his ass off. Obviously, he's the face of the company, but I don't want to see John Cena jam down my throat, and it's good to actually see another superstar that's not Triple H, that's not Randy Orton, although Randy Orton was on the card. It's good to see another superstar get a push. And like I said in the beginning of the video, R-Truth, he's really come into his own. He's always a good performer in the ring, but now to see him, like, he comes out with little Jimmy, he's this maniacal heel who's paranoid. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's like the best thing going on Raw. And it was actually good to see the little Jimmy in the front row actually screw over R-Truth, and the whole thing. He took his hat. R-Truth took the kid's hat. The kid threw the water on him. Cena grabbed him, threw in the ring. Attitude adjustment. End of the match. No surprises here. All in all, it was, like I said, it was a fodder. It was a fodder pay-per-view until, I don't know. Money in the Bank will probably be a good one. But yeah, it was a fodder pay-per-view, fodder matches, predictable. I knew going into it, there's no way Christian's getting the belt again. Excuse me. John Cena's retaining the title. There's no way R-Truth is going to get the belt. The minor titles change hands, but honestly, nobody really cares. I don't care. I don't care about the superstars that were in them. They got to start pairing up better wrestlers. Maybe it would have been nice to see Sin Cara on there somewhere, because he's pretty awesome. But I can go on and on about the talent that they're wasting in that company. Overall, WWE Capitol Punishment, decent pay-per-view, not as bad as WrestleMania. Still pretty bad. Alright, have a good one, guys. This is Mattitude. I forgot the name of my channel. Have a good one, guys.